Here we have the revision exercises for chapter 7 indices. So it looks a bit intimidating when you open the page and see all of these crazy questions, but let's break them down kind of one at a time. In question 1 we have a multiplication, so you need to know your rules. Multiplication leads to addition. Then we have a power to a power, which leads to multiply. Then we have division, which leads to takeaway, and the same for the last one. So question 1, when we know the rules, 7 to the power of 3 by 7 to the power of 8 is 7 to the power of 3 plus 8. Show the examiner you know what you're doing. Write down 3 plus 8, so it's going to be 7 to the power of 11. This is index notation, it's still got a power. The second one, 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 5 is 2 to the power of 2 5 times, so we could add 2 5 times to get 10, or we could multiply 2 by 5 to get 2 to the power of 10. This division one, 4 to the power of 5 over 2 to the power of 3. We need to simplify 4 to the power of 5 first. 4 is 2 to the power of 2. So 4 to the power of 5 becomes 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 5, which is the same as this one here, which is 2 to the power of 10. And we're dividing that by 2 to the power of 3. So that leads to take away 2 to the power of 7. Or 2 to the power of 10 minus 3 if you want to stick that in. And then this one here, 11 to the power of 12 over 11 to the power of 5 is 11 to the power of 12 minus 5, which is 11 to the power of 7. These are all in index notation. So learn off your rules. You don't have to go to the formula booklet. If you have to go to the formula booklet, it's no problem, but you may have a problem understanding what they're telling you to do. Question 2, you're told to write in the form a to the power of p, so a number to a power, and p is an element of q, so it could be a fraction in here. So the first one, if we have an index a below the line, which we do with 5 to the power of 4, if we move an index a up or down, it changes sign, so this becomes on the 1 would stay on top, 1 times 5 to the power of minus 4, which is the same as 5 to the power of minus 4. So if it was 5 to the power of minus 4 on the bottom, it would become 5 to the power of plus 4 on top. Any square root is a fraction power. There's a 12 to the power of 1 inside. So the rule we learned is the number inside is the top of the fraction, and the number in here is the bottom of the fraction. So this is 12 to the power of 1 over 6. Similarly, this is 17 to the power of 3 inside over the outside. And this one here, we just have to simplify a bit first. We have on the bottom, there's a 2 in here that the calculator sees that we don't need. So the bottom is 4 to the power of 5 over 2. The top is 4 to the power of 2. And if we apply our takeaway rules, that's going to become 4 to the power of 2 minus 2.5 if it's easier to see in decimal form, which is 4 to the power of minus a half, which is the same as 1 over 4 to the power of plus a half, which is 1 over the square root of 4, which is equal to 1 over 2. And if we want it as 8 to the power of p, we have to bring the 2 up. This is 2 to the power of minus 1, because there's a 1 here that we don't see. In part C of question 1, we're asked to use the laws of indices to simplify the following and leave your answer in index notation. So we want a power in the answer. So if we simplify inside the brackets first, 6 to the power of 5 by 6 to the power of 5 is 6 to the power of 10. We add when we're multiplying, and then power to a power we multiply, so this is 6 to the power of 10 by 2, which is 6 to the power of 20. In question 2 we have 8 to the power of 11. I'll simplify it first. Inside you can add them together in your head, or you can write 6 plus 5 to the power of 2, and this is 8 to the power of 22, 11 by 2. This one here, 2 to the power of 9 minus 4, if you want to do that first. You could apply the 6 to both first, but 2 to the power of 9 minus 5, I'm thinking of 4 is the answer, is 2 to the power of 4 inside. And we'd have to raise that to the power of 6, which is 2 to the power of 24. If we applied the 6, if it was just 2 to the power of 9 to the power of 6, it would be 2 to the power of 54. on the bottom, we'd have 2 to the power of 5 to the power of 6, which would be 2 to the power of 30. You could apply your takeaway rule. 54 minus 30 is also 2 to the power of 24, which is the same. So there's a couple of ways to approach it. And similarly with this one, this is 4 to the power of 8 minus 3 to the power of 7, which is 4 to the power of 35. So practice your indice rule questions through the chapter before coming to the revision exercises.